Minute Murder. I'm Jeff. We're going to draw a card. We're going to talk about them. This weekend, as you guys are watching this, I will be in Knoxville, Tennessee, right in the middle of doing Bride of FrankenCon. Really cool convention down there, a horror convention. I'll be there vending at the booth. So if you are in the Knoxville area, come out and see us. We'll be there Friday and Saturday. And yeah, it'll be a good time. Come and see all the celebrities. Come and get some killer's love. Always good. We're going to pick a card. Maybe. There we go. And we got Angelo Bruno tonight. So I'm going to hit the timer here real quick and we'll get started. Maybe. There we go. I actually have the timer. Sorry, Mary. I know you said you like it when I don't have the timer. But Angelo Bruno was born on May 21st, 1910, and died on March 21st, 1980. Just a couple months before my birthday, he died. He was a Sicilian-American mobster, notable for being boss of the Philadelphia crime family for 2 decades until his assassination. Bruno gained the epithets of the Gentle Don or the Docile Don, posthumously due to his preference for man. He was a nice guy. He always wanted to work with people rather than go straight to violence. And that was in stark contrast to all of his successors. So on March 21st, 1980, the 69-year-old Bruno was killed by a shotgun blast in the back of the head as he sat in his car in front of his home near the intersection of 10th Street and Schneider Avenue in South Philadelphia. His driver, John Stanfa, was wounded. It is believed that the killing was ordered by Antonio Caponero, Bruno's consigliere. So, yeah, old Angelo Bruno, interestingly enough, I grew up right outside of Philadelphia. The main reason why he's in the game is because he was a friend of the family, right? My dad knew Angelo Bruno when I was a kid. And, well, actually, he died before I was born. Like I just said, he died a couple months before I was born. But before I was born, he was a friend of my dad's. Actually, my uncle, who has just recently passed away about a year and a half ago now, my uncle was a supervisor at Tandy Leather. And when he was there at Tandy Leather, there was a guy that had worked for him that was claiming to be connected and said that he was connected with one of the families in New York. And he was a really terrible employee. My uncle was trying to get rid of him. And the guy said that he would come back with all of his friends and he'd kill everybody there. So my uncle was not connected at all. Never wanted to have anything to do with any business, right? So he went to my dad, who was somebody who was always into nefarious stuff. And so he asked my dad to go see Angelo and to find out about this guy. So my dad did. He had to sit down with Angelo. And they sat down and talked about, you know, if this guy was connected or not. So they got all his information. About a week later, it came back, and Angelo contacted my dad and said that it was not the case. The guy was not connected. So they did fire him and got rid of him. Now, about 3 weeks after that is when Angelo Bruno was killed. So, you know, it seems like his consigliere set it up, but, you know, I'm willing to bet that John Gotti had something to do with that. It was widely known that Angelo had control of Atlantic City, and Gotti is the one that ended up getting it after he was killed. So, you know, who knows? It's hard to say a lot of that stuff. But my dad also knew Philip Testa, who was boss after Angelo Bruno, and knew Nicky Scarfo, which was the boss after Philip Testa. And so, you know, Scarfo was kind of the crazy maniac of the group and went around killing everybody. So, you know, crazy stuff. But I grew up around all of that, right? Some of you guys that know me and have heard my story before, like, that was how I grew up. I grew up right outside of Philadelphia. And so, like, half of my family all owned restaurants down there. And in the 70s, they were all fronts for the mob. So, I grew up in the middle of all of that. So, true crime and, the whole mafia culture was something that, when you watch Goodfellas and you hear Henry Hill talk about how, he grew up and, that's what you just wanted to be. That was in the neighborhood. That's what everybody talked about. And that was the only way that you were somebody. And, I grew up in all of that. I lived all that stuff. So it's fascinating for me. And I always loved all of the mafia stuff growing up. I was fascinated with researching the history of the mob and understanding how they came to be, and all of the things about Lucky Luciano and forming the Five Families and the Commission, and having Meyer Lansky, who of course is not Italian at all. He's a Jewish guy, and this guy is like the brains and the money behind everything. So it's always been fascinating to me. Matter of fact, I mentioned before, I just picked up one of the first books that I read about the mob, and it's Lansky is the name of the book. I can't remember who it's by right now, but it's a great biography about Meyer Lansky and his influence on the mafia. And it's just fascinating stuff. Check it out if you get a chance. If you're in Knoxville, come and see me this weekend. And come and hang out at Bride of FrankenCon. I will have all kinds of crazy stuff there with me. I'll show you this here, since you guys are here. I've got some dirt from BTK's house. And then I also have another shadow box that I'll have there for sale. And we've got, there we go. This is dirt from Oxford Apartments, Dahmer's place. So I'll have those with me. So you can come and pick those up from me. And yeah, just come hang out, come and see me, come and check everything out. I will talk to you all soon. Have a great weekend.
Пусти мою руку, хочу тебя потерять. Уходи, хватит мучить, устал себя разрушать. Много мыслей, нету сути в голове, сложно пытать.
This looks like the job for me, so everybody just follow me, cause we need a little controversy, cause I feel so empty without me. I said